All right, yeah, welcome back. So we are looking at understanding conditional statements in Python. All right, conditional statements actually allows program to make decisions based on conditions, critical for decision making in data preprocessing and model evaluation, which are going to be seen later. So just a part of the foundational or the basics of Python before we move deep into machine learning proper. So, like I said before, this particular aspect is very important for beginners because that is what they are missing. They have no clue, no idea about Python basics, and they want to do machine learning, especially the researchers. They only copy code and paste. They use code, they paste it, but they don't have understanding about Python. So when they run into trouble, they don't know how to solve it. They look for help here and there, which means which they can actually solve by themselves because there is no basics. So I'm trying to provide a basics for every Python code users, especially researchers and machine learners who want to do machine learning without understanding Python. So that's the purpose of this particular aspect. All right. So when we're dealing with a Python conditional statement, we have different aspects of it. The first one is called if statement. This statement is just one line. I mean, it's just a basic if statement which executes the code based on a particular condition when the condition is true. For example, I can say that age equals to 18. Age has already been assigned a numeric value of 18, which is the variable age. So I can now ask, I can now say, if age is greater than or equal to 18, print you are eligible to vote. All right. So I'm trying to say that if this condition is true, then print this or execute. I can even execute some some codes, all right, or give some instructions on what the code should execute. So based on this particular condition, if it's true, right? So that is just only one. If so, you don't need to open tag and close tag. Python understand this kind of code. In Java, most time you have to open the tag and then close it back when you are done. But in Python, you don't need to do that. You can understand this easily. So the second part is like when you are dealing with a if else statement. So like the one we did the other time, we can say else, but now you can apply else to it now, which provide alternative when the condition is false. Let's assume we assign 25 to temperature. So we can say that if temperature is greater than 30, print it is too hot outside. But otherwise, print it's not too hot. So we are trying to look for alternative to negate this one. So if this one is not true, then otherwise it's true. So we don't need to say if the temperature is less than 30, then print no. Just that was happens when we are doing multiple if statements, which is elif. All right. So here you can just say else, which means the other side is true if this one is not true. So that's called if else statements. So it's commonly used in programming like that. So we also have what is called if else if statements. So this dealing with multiple if. So checking multiple conditions in a sequence. You can have sometimes, for example, for in a grade or scores of students, you can say score is 85, for example. You can say if score is greater than or equal to 90, grade is equal to A. Else, this means as if actually, call it elif. So else if score is greater than 80, grade is B. Else if score is greater than 70, greater than or equal to 70, grade is C. And finally, else grade is equal to D. Okay, so what we are trying to do is that we are trying to condition these statements based on this score that is supplied here. So try to test where it falls into. You can now finally print our score. So print your grade is a grade. Of course, you understand this one to how to embrace your variable in a string. All right. So that is how you deal with if multiple if statements. So this can be used in where you have multiple conditions or to pass across to test a particular variable. All right. So we also have what is called you can also apply that in a, for example, you can say salary equal to 50,000. Let's say performance equals to good. You can now say, okay, if performance is excellent, All right, bonus salary equals to 0.02, 20% now to bonus. Else, if performance is good, bonus. So we are trying to using this status of performance now to assign bonus to the staff. Okay, if performance is good, bonus salary is this 10%. Else, bonus salary is 0, no bonus. All right. So anybody does not have excellent performance or good performance will not have bonus. So in the appraiser of staffs, we have what is called appraiser performance. So in that case, probably every year you can just when the appraiser is done, they put good for the staff or excellent. So which will in turn affect their bonus in the time to come. So that is say you can print the bonus out now. Just say this is the 2 decimal values now. So don't forget that I've done that before. So you now have to put this. Right. So if you run this line of code now, maybe let's run this first and see what I'm talking about. If you run this now, you have a grade is B. Why? Because grade falls into 85, and we learned that here when it's greater than or equal to 85, 80, let it be so, because this one is greater than or equal to 80. Greater and equal. Don't forget it's greater than 80. So but it's not a because we already have a foundation for 90, so it won't fall under 90. So because that one is already issued. I think this one is not issued now, and if I put 90 here, if I put 86 here, for example, it still give me the same thing. But if I remove this 90 from here now, it becomes different thing entirely. Because I already captured 90 already here. So now we can also go for that, do what we call nested if statement. That means if inside another if. So we have if and inside if. For example, we are saying age is 20, has license equal to true. We are assigning true to a variable called has license. So if age is equal to 80, if another if inside an if has license, the if is true, print you can drive. Else print you need a license. This you need a license is for this particular if, this particular app license here. That's what this particular else is for. So this else is for this if inside. So but if this one is met, if this condition is met, then it will print this. All right. So but if this condition is not met, if age is not greater than 18 or equal to 18, then to print you are too young to drive. So this particular else is for this particular outside this particular condition is this if here. So it's inline. It's for inline. So this particular one now is meeting this, while this one is meeting this. All right. Okay. So you can have multiple of that as well. For example, you can say, okay, if it's weekend equal to true, time equal to 2014, it should be 2 p.m. in GMT now. Okay, we say if it's weekend, which means it's true, and again, if 10 less than equal to time, less than equal to 18, print weekend shopping hours. Okay, the time is between this and this, that's what it means. Okay, so else print weekend schedule. So we are trying to blend this if inside another if now. Okay, for this one now we are having no s for this. Okay, we just have only if. All right, we close it. So we can now have this s. This s now is for this particular one. All right. So all right. So that is about that. So you can also have what they call Boolean operator. Okay, Boolean operator simply help you to perform a conditional branching in your if, which you have and or not. So in machine learning is common. This kind of thing is common in machine learning. You are trying to check accuracy sometimes. You can say, okay, if accuracy you have already acquired or your precision is greater than or equal to 0.9 and less than or equal to this, you can just print some kind of for the users. Because when you're doing machine learning, most time we just believe that machine learning is just meant for getting a report or just getting a metrics only. So we not just say, okay, my accuracy is this, my accuracy is that. That's what it meant. No, it's actually applications that people can use later. That's what it means. So because if you are doing it in a very complex mode, I mean in deployable form, then you need to make it more robust, which means people can use it and apply their business processes into it and they use it. So that you have to make it more robust and add necessary information that are required for the user. So you can print many other components you want to print. You can even make it a GUI for people to run properly. So that is an advanced form anyway. So you can just say, okay, if accuracy is greater than 0.9 and vision is greater than 0.8, then print model meets deployment criteria. So you can also include else it does not meet requirement. So of course that is possible. So this is and you can also use or, you can use not, which you have done before. So it's as simple as that. So we also have the call ternary operator. Just simply one line if statement. So this is common also in PHP, and you can also just blend one line statement. They have their way, they use their own differently. So you can say status is equal to good. If the accuracy is greater, accuracy already supplied as a variable or variable under a view. So if accuracy is greater than 0.9, else needs improvement. So this is just one line. Just blend this one. It's a one line code. So you don't need to use in PHP use a semicolon to do that. So but here we're using equals to assign it. So just the same thing. So just print status. Can blend the code inside this. So using this one line statement. So this is just intro to conditional statement. So in the next we will do the part 2 of it. So we will now use how to apply it in an application, and we continue from there. So thank you so much for listening. I will see us in the next class as we do the second part of this particular conditional statement. So I don't want to make the video too long, so that people can enjoy it. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.